YouTube. Hey, we back with another banger. Y'all see who we got on the screen. We got Love Dorsey. She says people don't genuinely care for other people for real. Let's see what Shorty talking about.
Me on Instagram, but look, I want to say this, right? So I'm doing a Zoom tonight on problem solving in relationships, right? And a lot of y'all, you're not ready for these type of conversations, like I said in the beginning. Organic space. But if you want better for yourself as far as relationships, and I ain't just talking about intimate relationships, I'm talking about friendships, business relationships, building resources for you to be able to have people in life that you can depend on, you got to understand this type of shit, right? So most people in relationships, they know how to take what they've been through and use that as a way to direct the other person in the direction of what they want, right? I'm going to say that again. They know how to take what they've been through and use that as their motivation or the underlying for their beliefs to direct the other person's behavior in the direction that they want to. And a lot of it has to do with emotion. It has a lot to do with them having low self-esteem in the past and sitting in shit longer than what they should have, to the point where now what I want for myself is based on what I went through, right? It's not based on me, knowing my value and what I'm worth, not me understanding the season of my life that I'm in and getting a clear idea of what I need to complement me, as opposed to just what I want based on what I'm conditioned to want from watching social media platforms and listening to the radio and watching reality TV, right? And I know for some of y'all, this is going over your head, so I'm going to slow it down and break it down like I normally do, right? And again, you can text 678-965-0698 for a one-on-one, or if you're trying to get in the Zoom tonight. There are a lot of people in relationships, and you think that you know how to care about people, but you don't, right? And I'm going to tell you why you don't. When you're in a relationship with someone, if you are unable to see things from more than just your perspective and manage your emotions to the point where you can be able to consider the season that the other person is in as y'all go through things, you're not really in a relationship.
Nah, that's a fact. Nah, that's a fact. You gotta be able to put yourself in the other person's shoes. And not everybody is capable of doing that. From the relationships that I had, you would tell a person something that you've been through in your past, and they'd like turn around and use that against you. Like, they think they comprehend. Like, if you're talking to a girl and you told a girl, hey, I was cheated on before, she says, oh, no, that ain't me. I ain't that type of woman. She'll turn around and do that. Just that. Like, a lot of people can't just take themselves and fully understand what you're going through, because for one, they're not you. They didn't have that upbringing that you had. So that's very true.
In a situation where you take expectations based on what you've been through in the past and you
Facts.
use them as a way to direct the behavior of the other person to best suit you.
That's
So
a
there
fact.
are a lot of y'all that you're in relationships and you think that you care because you do things for the other person and you're there for them when they need you, right? But the idea is you only do things and you're only there to get certain shit back out of them in return. It doesn't.
Nah, that's not true. I don't believe that's true. If I'm doing something for a person, this is just me. I can only speak for myself. If I'm doing something for a person, I'm doing it because I genuinely want to do it. Not to say, hey, I'm doing it to get anything in return. Majority of the time, you know you're not getting nothing in return. Majority of the time, you know you're not getting nothing in return. Majority of the time, you know you ain't getting the same energy that you put in. You know for damn sure you're not getting that back. That's a fact. Like, we can just already, we can just stamp that. That's a fact. Like,
Doesn't have anything to do with real consideration for the season of their life they in, what they can actually afford to give, what is best for them, in compromise to what is best for you, and vice versa. It's a lot of y'all, you really don't understand this, but you're in a space where you don't know how to love and care for another person. This is why your relationships keep failing.
that's very true. I know a lot of people that's not capable of, like, genuinely loving somebody. I know a lot of people like that.
You do know.
A lot of people, family members like that. Like, a lot of people ain't have genuine love from their family members, and it rolls over to their adult life. How they treat people, how they treat their kids, how they treat family members, how they treat their significant other, how they treat their friends. Like, if you wasn't never shown genuine love, how could you possibly connect with other people of any sort? I know a lot of people like that. I think we all do.
Know how to get with somebody and do things for them and bond with them on a sexual level and on a let's mix our bills and mix our life. You do know how to do that, but you don't know how to genuinely care for somebody enough to understand that they will still have to make decisions for themselves that has to do with what is necessary for their mental health, for the season of their life they in, for what's best for them and what they want for themselves. Perfect example. There's a lot of people I do one-on-ones with or I be in Zooms with, and when I start to ask them about their partner's viewpoint, they don't have a clear picture. They can give you bits and pieces of what their partner might have said in arguments or some deep conversations, but they cannot overall give you a description of the season of their life that my partner is in, of their perspective of our relationship and what they want, right? Because most...
Hey, she keep making a season of life, bro. It's like her fourth time saying it. I'm just counting it up. Like,
people, they gonna tell you what the partner should want based on what they feel like the partner should want in order to be with them.
that's not how that work, though. That's not how that work, though. Like, when you with somebody, bro, your partner have a mind of their own. So you gotta allow them to come to the table with their own thought process. That's what I think.
Some of y'all, again, this is going over y'all head, but for a lot of y'all, this is the reason why you have unsuccessful relationships back to back to back to back to back to back. Y'all gotta realize the difference between just fucking on somebody and have a bond or ties to them based on that type of energy and
Facts.
really caring for someone.
Nah, facts.
A lot of...
Hey, nah, she telling the truth. That's a fact, though. I know, bro, we know too many, everybody knows so many people that jump into relationship after relationship after relationship. And they think that, you know, these relationships going to work out. Like, oh, man, this might be the one for me. But at the end of the day, like I said, if you don't really love yourself, all that shit, like, if you don't love yourself and you don't understand that, hey, me and this person got a real friendship, like, y'all don't have a real friendship, it's always going to be y'all just fucking on each other. Y'all fucking on each other, y'all living together, shit like that. But if y'all got an actual genuine friendship where y'all can actually have conversation to where y'all understand, where it's not like y'all having conversation and bumping heads every time it's oh, I don't agree with that, bump heads, I don't agree with that, bump heads. If we can have like open dialogue where it's like, you say your piece, I never looked at it like that. I say my piece, oh, I ain't never looked at it like that. And it comes to understanding where we can just deep dive into those conversations that we having and take a deeper dive. That's when y'all can find a situation where it's like, okay, you know what? Okay, I'm not trying to be combative. You feel me? Y'all having a conversation where it's not combative. Y'all having open dialogue. That's what's wrong with us. Like, us as black people. We don't know how to have open dialogue. We always have dialogue to rebuttal. And if it's not something that your partner agrees with, it's, oh, fuck you. I'm not saying nothing to you, or be shut down. Whenever it's something that, not even just your partner, just your friends, like you be talking to your friends and y'all don't agree on something, it's always, okay, fuck it, I'm shutting down. It's not that deep, bro. You should be able to agree to disagree with the people that you're around. You should be able to do that. That's a real genuine friendship, though. That's a real genuine friendship.
You don't have that for the person that you're dealing with. And a lot of y'all, you don't even understand how to have it for yourself or somebody else.
I know a lot of people like that.
Trust me, Julie, I know it's a conversation that a lot of motherfuckers, they not going to understand. It's a lot of y'all, you are in relationships with people, you've been in relationships with people, and what you call care, what you call a bond, what you call a relationship, is all about you taking your expectations based on what you've been through. It's not based on what's actually necessary and what matches the season you in and where your mental is at. It's actually just expectations based on your emotions from what you went through in the past. And this is what you utilize to try to build with someone else. And this is the most unhealthy way to try to build with somebody, have a life with them, be in a relationship with them. And this is why so many of y'all, as a good person and all, you find yourself in fucked up relationships over and over again. A lot of y'all in your upbringing, you weren't taught how to genuinely care for someone else.
Yeah, I just said that. I literally just said that. That's a fact. A lot of people haven't had real genuine family members. They didn't have family members that taught them details of like how to be themselves, be comfortable with themselves, having tough conversations. Or like, let's say if you had your mom, dad, whoever, grandma, granddad, whoever, aunts, uncles, have a sit down conversation and say, tell me about your feelings. Like, just speak about your feelings. And not cut you off. Like, you explaining something and they not cutting you off. They letting you speak your piece. And then, you know, it might be stuff that you might be saying to where it's like they don't agree on, but they're not cutting you off. They're allowing you to vent and get stuff out of your chest. And like I said, it could be agree to disagree. It don't have to be a back and forth. It could just be like, okay, I ain't see it from that perspective. I ain't see that. I ain't know that me doing these certain things made you feel this type of way. Or it could just be anything. You know what I mean? It don't have to just people don't know how to have these type of tough conversations to find common ground. People, us as black people, we have these type of conversations to where I don't agree with you, fuck you, we shut down. We normally shut down instead of saying, okay, you know what, this person has their own perspective. This person has their own upbringing. Like, they wasn't brought up how I was. Let me help this person. And majority of the time, we're not supposed to help them, but shit, if you with somebody, you see the best in them. So let me help this person see it. Like, let me help this person grow as a person to where they can have tough conversation without always feeling like I gotta shut down. I know so many, and I know a lot of females like this. I've dealt with a lot of females that's like this. Like, when things don't go their way, or you tell them no, they shut down. Y'all have a conversation, you be like, man, I don't think that's like, let's say you talking to a female, she talking about work. Oh man, my boss did this, and I'm like, I can see why your boss did that. And they be like, oh, what you mean you agreed with my boss? Woo, woo. Like, they jump out the window, and it's like, no, I'm just telling you, like, this perspective. Like, maybe you wasn't looking at it from this. You only looking at it from one perspective. A lot of females do that. A lot of females definitely do that. Like, if you don't agree with them, they feel like, oh, I'm shutting down. Or you tell them one thing that they feel like, oh man, I wouldn't look at it like that. Like, what you mean? Like, why we arguing? Like, it's not an argument, bro. And that's what, it don't be an argument, bro. It's just like, hey, look at it from this perspective. Like, look at it from the broad perspective.
I'm going to break it down just a little bit on this live for y'all for free. For those of y'all that really want to understand it, you can text 678-965-0698 and hop in my Zoom. But I'm going to put it to y'all like this, right? First of all, you have to normalize, like the video I just posted on Instagram, you have to normalize checking on the people that you involve yourself with, right? And I don't mean checking on them like y'all check on them, right? Because nowadays, the idea of checking on people is y'all asking people what they got going on or what's wrong with them based on what you see, right? And then as soon as they start telling you they traumas or telling you what's wrong with them or telling them what's on their mind, you immediately go into telling them what you feel like they should be doing or how they should approach it. You give them advice, right? And from your perspective, this is a good thing. This is all you know how to do. I'm with somebody, I ask them how they doing, they tell me what's wrong, I immediately start throwing me onto them. You don't realize this is what you're doing, but this is what you're doing, right? You start telling them what you think that you should do. Y'all gotta normalize asking people how they're doing, and I don't mean how they're doing physically, but I mean genuinely checking on them as far as how they're doing mentally, meaning get a real understanding for their viewpoint of where their life is at. And I'm gonna tell you why this is so important. There are a lot of y'all, you've been in relationships or you might be in a relationship right now where you can't understand why this person is taking you for granted or they aren't more grateful for what they have going on with you than they are, right? So when you are trying to get an idea of like what's up with them, what's going on with them, why they energy shifting, why they not like doing their part or putting into the relationship as much as you, y'all never stop to consider that before a person met you, they had a vision or a plan or a route they wanted to take for their life.
Damn,
right?
That's facts.
And where they're at right now, which has nothing to do with you, it may be disappointing. It may be in a space where they feel like I should be further. It may be in a space where they're realizing from almost a depressed view that this is not how I wanted my life to look. So even though I'm with a good girl or a decent guy or a good person or somebody that cares about me, I'm consumed with my mental health issues that I can't operate the way that they want me to. And a lot of y'all, you so self-absorbed, you're so unable to genuinely care. All you keep doing is making what they going through about you. And a lot of y'all, you was never taught this. Healthy relationships involve balance. Balance involves you considering the other person's inner just as much as you consider theirs. I'm going to say this shit again. Healthy relationships require balance. Balance requires that just as much as you consider your view and what you want for yourself and what you feel like should be the way that y'all operate, you should consider from a space of it don't got a fuck thing to do with right or wrong. You should consider their view and what they want for themselves. But this is if you really care about them. And see, a lot of y'all, the true answer is you don't actually care.
Hey, nah, hey, she talking that shit. Hey, she talking that shit. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, she definitely talking that shit.
You don't. You expect things from them based on stuff that you did for them, and that's what you call care. But that's not genuinely caring for someone. And this is why nowadays you're starting to see so many marriages fail. And they fail based on irreconcilable differences, not necessarily cheating or money issues. It be the fact that motherfuckers don't be really caring about one another. People get with people and they operate from a very selfish space. And there are a lot of y'all that because you physically do things for people or you physically show care through showing up for people based on I'm going to be there for you because I expect you to do this for me with no consideration for where they really at, what they really can afford to give. And again, some of y'all, this is going over your head. You're not ready for this type of conversation. There's a lot of y'all, you in situations, and I've said this before, y'all go get with people and their basics are not together. And you try to help them. You try to pour into them. You put finances in them. You put time in them. You put energy and advice and all of this shit. And then when they get themselves together, you think it's absurd that they don't want what you want for y'all relationship. Hell, sometimes they don't even want to be with you anymore once they've got themselves together. Because y'all don't understand change being normal. Y'all don't understand that as people grow and elevate, their view of themselves and what they want for themselves changes. And although they may have said something different in the past, it's nothing wrong with them wanting something different for their future. This is why you have to tally up when you're dealing with people. This is even for friendships. It's a lot of y'all, you're out of touch with reality. Like you be friends with people, you be in relationships with people, and you've been with them for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, hell, it could be even be 1 year. And you don't realize as time goes on, things change for people. Genuinely. Has nothing to do with right or wrong. And y'all be still operating based on what we talked about we was finna do back when we first got together. And you don't realize the person has seen sides of you that they didn't see back when y'all first got together and had them talks. The people have experienced different parts of themselves and went through stuff, got exposed to different stuff, and now they want different. And a lot of people can't talk to y'all. They lie to y'all because, like I told y'all on that one live, you're not the type to be able to handle the truth. If a person is honest with you that I don't want this anymore, or I actually used to want the relationship to be like this, but I don't want it like that anymore, y'all gonna get upset, make it about y'all, get in an emotional space, and it's gonna be all about how they're right and you're wrong. They're a villain and you're the victim. Something is being done to you. And this is the story of a lot of y'all lives. Y'all don't understand that change up is normal because you've been conditioned and through repetition and rap songs, fucking TV, movies and shit that people are supposed to want the same thing they've always wanted when y'all first got together. I did a one-on-one the other day with a lady, and it was very good because she was able to keep up. She was an intelligent woman, much respect to her. And she wasn't emotional, right? She wasn't overly emotional about the shit. She's in a relationship. She's married. Her husband is a good man. She articulated that very well. The issue was the beginning part of their years that they got together, they split the bills. The bills were split. It was more of a, he wasn't where he needed to be in his career. I worked. So we did a 50-50 or a split of bills that matched our finances. And it worked for years. Now things have changed with their finances. Things have changed as far as her view on life and things that she wants. She's now wanting to have children because they don't have any, which is going to require her to take some time off from working. And she wants to have certain things in place. So now she wants her husband to be able to cover the majority of the bills. She does not want to do the splitting of the bills anymore. She wants to know that he can handle all bills himself. This requires now for him to either really push for some sort of promotion and raise at work, or for him to create an additional stream of income, or for them to create a other stream of income, right? Now, if you a basic bitch or a basic ass nigga, you will start to right now think about how, oh, she wrong for switching up, or maybe he wrong if he don't understand what she's saying. But people change, right?
Facts.
And then some people don't. So the idea was she's now ready for the relationship to change. Financially, he's not. So as she speaks to him about this, he doesn't disagree, but the amount of effort and energy it's going to take for him to put into his job to get a different position, that's not something he wants to do for himself as a man. Now, the type of work that he does, as I spoke with her, we went over reasons why that is. So this is somebody that she's not emotional like a lot of you hoes and will sit here and say, well, oh, he wrong for that. He should want to do whatever it takes to be able to da-da-da-da-da. No, he's a human being. He has a right to care about his mental health and the physical labor he has to put in. And if it has to go and do something more with his physical, with his mental, in his world, in a part of his life that doesn't involve her going there and doing it with him, he has the right to genuinely consider and say no if he does not want to. These are the type of things that real relationships are up against. And it requires compromise. It requires healthy communication. It requires you to be able to do just what we're going to be talking about in my Zoom tonight, which is problem solve.
Facts.
While being with somebody.
Hey, facts. Hey, she talking that talk. No bullshit. Damn. Hey, it's refreshing to hear conversation like this from a female. Like, it's refreshing and shit.
Without pointing the blame. But a lot of y'all motherfuckers, you never saw an example of a healthy relationship growing up, so you don't understand where to start with this type of shit. And you don't understand how to care. You have to genuinely care about a nigga. You have to genuinely care about a bitch in order for everything I just said to make sense about a situation like that. Mm-hmm. See, when you don't care, it's easy to just point the finger and pick out what you feel like a motherfucker should or shouldn't do, or how they should or shouldn't feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's about compromise. It's about understanding. It's about communication. It's about consideration of your partner's viewpoint. It's about understanding where they're at with their mental health and what they want for their life.
Yeah, you evolving every day.
A lot of y'all, man, you've been in relationship after relationship. You're not no bad person. Everything's not your fault, but you don't know how to genuinely care. You don't know from a mature space how to operate and bond and socialize with other people without your moves and the things that you do being manipulative from a selfish space. You don't even realize it. This is why I always talk about 8 dates, getting to know a person. Stop trying to tell them what you want them to be. Allow them to do what they want to do so that you can see who they really are. People show you who they are through their behavior. But see, the problem nowadays in relationships is everybody wants to get emotionally upset, tell somebody how they're doing something wrong to them, and you never get to see the full view of the person. So you be years in and you still don't know this person.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all be fucking a nigga for 2, 3, 4 years, and all you can say is, he come and get that pussy. Or he give you some money. Y'all be fucking with hoes and you can articulate how she crazy or overly emotional, but you can't explain shit about genuinely how she thinks, how she processes things in life, how she problem solves, what she wants for herself, where do she get her viewpoints and beliefs from. You can't do none of that because you never actually cared a fuck enough to genuinely get to know a person past the shit that y'all put on the internet to make things look lit. Relationships be turmoil, fucking hard work, toxic shit, a struggle when you don't understand the things that I'm talking about. When you understand the stuff that I be talking about, you can be going through some of the toughest shit and it won't weigh on you like it would another person.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the shit y'all go through, the people that I counsel and do one-on-ones with and give therapy sessions to, these people are able to approach this shit way different than a lot of y'all.
They understand.
It's like opening up a whole nother third eye to where you approach this shit differently. And they able to end relationships, start relationships, go through things, have problems, arguments, fights, and still be able to respect one another, still be able to part ways, and it not be some dramatic ass, toxic ass chain of events. But if you don't understand, you won't value the information. Y'all can get in the Zoom tonight. Text 678-965-0698. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those of y'all that need a one-on-one phone call, same phone number, 678-965-0698.
Hey, shawty just was talking that talk, though. Like I said, it's refreshing hearing when females and males, like, it's refreshing to see people that's like-minded. Like, it's refreshing.